Welcome back everybody to another Triple T. And today we're back in the studio for this week's episode. Today we're going to go over 2 tackle management items, I guess you'd say. 2 easy, simple things that will save you money and will save you headaches. First, we're going to go over the one that's going to save you money. We all put trailers on our jigs or on our chatterbaits or spinner baits, and a lot of times when we're done with them, we cut them off and throw them in a tackle box with the trailer on it, or we just leave it hooked to the rod with the trailer on it. And then we come back next week, it's our favorite jig, our favorite trailer, we're ready to roll, we grab it, and the hook is a ball of rust. We wonder why. What happened? Why is it a ball of rust? Why is the other one's not rusted? A lot of these lures have salt in them. A lot of your swim baits especially, and some craws and some worms have salt in them. And when we leave them on that hook, it's just going to rust it out. It's going to sit there and rust it out. So take your trailers off of your jigs or your chatterbaits or your spinnerbaits, and if it's Texas rigged, you got a swim bait Texas rigged, slide it up the line a little bit if it's still on the rod. Just slide it up the line away from the hook so it's not going to sit on it and rust it all week long while you're at work. Ugh. Anyway, do that and you'll save you some money because, jigs aren't cheap. Heck, even hooks aren't cheap these days. The second item. Now, the next item is something that not everybody used or bought into or any of that. No matter if you bought into it or not, you have to admit that this technique, hold on a second, I dropped some. No matter whether you bought into it or not, you have to admit this technique changed fishing or left its mark on fishing big time. And it wasn't exactly a small lure. And it wasn't easy to store. It was the old-fashioned umbrella rig. People use this offshore for years when offshore fishing, but when you're bass fishing, it kind of came out, 5-6 years ago, and would hit the world pretty hot and heavy for a while. Well, this is a nightmare to try to store because you try to do this. You try to squeeze it together and shove it in a tackle box. Then when you open that tackle box, it comes springing out. It's like a jack in the box. It scares you to death. You end up getting hooked. Well, I found a little simple way to keep this from springing open on you and to store it easily. Take a simple old key ring. You squeeze this together and you slide that key ring on down it. About halfway. And there you go. Now you can take this and store it into a regular old plain old 3700 series. And then when you're ready for it, you just pull your ring off and there you go. Tie it on and you're ready to go. Now don't make fun of the condition of this. It is horrible, I know, because I don't use this often. It's been sitting around. Had to go find it. But that's number 2. Tip number 2, save you some headaches. So tip number 1, saves you a little money. Tip number 2, saves you some headaches. Now a little bonus item I wanted to talk about right quick. While looking for my umbrella rig in the garage, I came across this gem right here. This is a color selector. This is one of them items that I just had to have. It's one of them items that you see on an infomercial. It's like, oh yeah, if I get that, I'm gonna catch fish every cast. It's gonna solve all my problems. Well, that's not always the case. We all know this. This actually was a pretty decent item. You took this off here, and you lowered this into the water, and you had the numbers on the line to tell you how deep you were. And it would tell you temperature, pH, at whatever depth you were at, and what color to supposedly use. Well, I got it, and of course it wasn't all that. And, you know, I'm not really a bass master right now, so it didn't work so well. But we all do this. We all fall for this eventually at one point in time. Flying lure came out, the banjo, minnow, all of them come out. I wanted you guys to comment below and tell me what gimmick you bought into. What lure you bought. Now, they're not I say gimmick, they're not really gimmicks. All lures are going to catch fish at any time. It's just the gimmick part is that they make you think that that's all you need and that you're going to catch fish every cast with that lure. That's the gimmick. But comment below. Tell me if you guys, what y'all had, what y'all bought into. Was it flying lures, banjo, minnows, color selectors, whatever. Y'all comment below. Let's have a little fun with this. And that's it for this week. Till next week, y'all be careful and have fun.